You know, I don't think people really understand what's happening here, or really what's already happened. I've been calling it the Trumpification of America. Maybe it's the re-Trumpification of America, but it's actually unbelievable to behold. You see, in my lifetime, we've seen some major shifts, and many of those thought we may not live to see some of the things that we're living through right now. We went from rotary telephones with a cord stuck to the wall, and you had to dial like this, to more modern phones without call waiting, then finally things like call waiting, caller ID, clunky, huge phones, then flip phones, BlackBerries were a little smarter than your regular phone, and now smartphones that you can do just about anything with. You can look at it, it opens, you can do banking on it, you can chat to anyone in the world, you can watch live television, enough to make your head spin. It's a mega computer all in one little handset. All that technology, all of that change in a single lifetime. And it's insane to think about what's next. Never mind the fact that we kind of thought we might have flying cars by now, a la the Jetsons. Remember, they were flying all over the place by now. But, well, I'm sure Elon Musk is on that right away. Right, Captain Doge? But my point is, technical progression is one thing, but watching a pendulum swing back and forth like we're witnessing right now in real time is almost a miracle to behold. And Mark Zuckerberg's mea culpa is a lot more powerful than we've been even giving it credit for. He's the man whose platform outright worked together with our government agencies, the three-letter agencies, the FBI, the NSA, all of them, DOJ, and the White House. They colluded together to silence conservative voices. Any opinions they didn't want heard, they worked together. They colluded. Imagine that. This is Soviet communist-style stuff we're talking about in the late 1980s when everything started to change in the Soviet Union and they started allowing various thought and opinion to be released to the public. It was also a shock to their system. Think about it. Until then, every bit of information or news disseminated to the public in Soviet Russia, the Soviet Union, had to be approved by the Russian government. It had to be, or else you went to the gulags. You went to jail, and they weren't pretty jails. Joe Biden and his Soviet-style comrades right now in 2020 to 24 have behaved in a very similar downright Orwellian way, stifling information, hiding stories that could hurt them, the Democrats, their power or their agenda or the control over you. Remember, it's all about control. From COVID to just about everything else, we now know that the government worked together with social media platforms to shut us all up, or else we got fired. We got disbanded from our neighborhoods. By the way, it's happening right now in the UK as we speak. A social media post that they deem inappropriate. Social media post they deem inappropriate or racist or somehow offensive. Well, they call it nationalist, and you can get jail time for it. Look on the internet. It's all over the place. They're arresting men, pulling them out of their homes because he posted something that was offensive. Can you imagine that? We have a First Amendment here to our Constitution. Here in America, we live through total censorship, a regime hell-bent on censoring the opposite side in Joe Biden, Barack Obama. I'm not exaggerating. Our social media, our legacy media, the big MSNBC, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, to a certain extent Fox, Newsmax censored the hell out of us. Well, it's all Orwellian. They controlled the narrative. That's why people are fleeing legacy media, coming to digital. And Facebook, now Meta, was one of the vehicles for all of them. Mark Zuckerberg's lost his crown a long time ago. The luster faded on his platforms because our voices weren't allowed. They censored us. We saw it. They censored a freaking president. Donald Trump was president and they censored him. If you said anything they didn't like, you're shadow banned or temporarily removed or forever banned. Those were the options, and Zuckerberg and his team of censorship made sure of it, and they used it with the government's boot on the proverbial necks of conservatives. 4 years of that. And now, after all of that, an admission of guilt, an about-face, a Michael Jackson moonwalk. Make no mistake, Facebook did us dirty. Fact-checking posts through politicized third parties, speech police, any contrarian views to their left-wing ideas, dead in their Silicon Valley waters. full-on collusion with the Biden-Obama camp. And now, poof, Trump gets elected with the mandate, the size of the election he got, it all goes away. You just don't see it every day, every decade, or even every century. It's a cultural 180. This isn't just about Zuckerberg. It's shocking enough to hear him walk back everything and talk about making besties with Don. Listen to this.
The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms.
To be clear, nothing changes the fact that Mark Zuckerberg is a man with no morals, no principles, no scruples, no character, and abides only by that which is most profitable and politically popular for him. He's in desperation mode now. But it also means that the Biden-led censorship regime is dead. If not dead, dying a slow, painful, fast death. The Wicked Witch is dead. Isn't that right, MSNBC Joe Scarborough and Mika, who called Trump Hitler a week before the election and a week after the election, went to Mar-a-Lago and begged for his forgiveness, only to see the ratings tank by 50%. But there's more, and it makes you just wonder how much more kumbaya moments were in store for. Think about it. In the days after Trump won, Joe Scarborough, Mika Brzezinski paid him a little visit to make nice after calling him Hitler and Stalin in a fascist conglomerate. He said everything about Trump was fascist. On Thursday at Carter's state funeral, President Trump sat there with the man who spied on Trump's campaign, Barack Obama, the man who referred to Trump as a Hitler type. He actually giggled with none other than that man, Barack Hussein Obama. What's next? Brunch with Joy Reid, Anderson Cooper and Rachel Maddow at the Trump White House, AA meetings for the former Trump derangement syndrome victims in the West Wing, classes on how to strengthen corporate America taught by high school dropout Greta Thunberg in the Rose Garden. Cats sleeping with dogs, folks. It's all flipped on its side. Hollywood featured, a night with George Clooney, Tom Hanks, and Meryl Streep in the White House movie room. How about that? I mean, could it happen? I don't know. At this point, I think anything can happen. Elon Musk set off the anti-censorship brigade, but this is next level. Musk is talking about moving its content review teams out of liberal California into Texas and other places. The dismantling of the Silicon Valley soy boy, almond milk, latte frat hood is also legendary. Whatever its intentions, the fact is it's happening. And the common denominator is Donald Trump's big win. Some changes so slow, it's gradual. You hardly even notice it's happening. The 1984 gang with Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Barack Obama at the helm brought us the kind of Soviet-style banana republic shit that we only read about in books or see in movies. And they sprinkled it in. They thought they could slip it past us slowly, make us believe that it was for our own good, for the good of all. And they bought all the mainstream media to do their bidding. Remember when Kamala Harris thought she was tied with Trump and she paid Reverend Al Sharpton prior to an interview to make it soft? Buying MSNBC, folks, that's exactly what that was. But that era, very quickly over and done with. Some changes is so fast it makes your head spin. And this is that moment. This is the end of their progressive imperialism. It came over 4 years. 4 years it's been coming, and it's gone in less than 2 months. That's the golden era Trump keeps referring to. And for me, I'm down for it.